Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to MTG Arena by completing the last color challenge, which is green. So we're going to play a Johnny white, and we are green, and we are using the pre-constructed deck called Large and In Charge, and we're going to learn about what green likes to do in terms of archetypal color design. It's not to say that green, of course, or any of these colors can't do other things, but they teach you some of the mainstay kind of guiding principles or themes of these colors that you will associate as being just very typical of that color identity. So we're going to click play and dive right in. And Johnny wants to tussle. And who are we to disappoint? So we've got a bunch of forests, and we have Elysian Caryatids, and these are ramp cards because these are 1/1 creatures that can create mana for us, so they'll help us kind of push mana faster. Ramp is a term that is used in MTG to kind of describe getting mana faster. So by putting down 2 lands and this, on turn 3, if we play a third land, we will actually have access to 4 mana instead of 3, which escalates or ramps our mana production and allows us to start dropping higher cost cards, which will be difficult for our opponent to deal with because they might not have access to as much mana as we do. So we kind of like try to lean on that particular advantage of generating mana. Now, however, I can't do anything but play a forest. And the Johnny's played a Sanctuary Cat, which is a 1/2 for 1, which is nice to have that extra 2 toughness. But we're just going to go ahead and play our plant creature here. Now, it does say if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you get to actually add 2 mana of any color instead of 1. So if we, for example, are able to ramp out one of these other creatures... Okay, so Ajani is playing a life gain deck. So it says whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on the Hallowed Priest. They don't have any means to gain life, but we have to watch that card. Now, Ajani wants to attack us with this cat. We are not going to block with our Elysian Caryatid because this thing will die, and we will lose the ability to ramp, and we won't even kill the cat. So we'll just take a damage. No problem. Alright, so now we can play this, and we are able to ramp up and play the Baloth Pack Hunter if we want. This is a 3/3 trample, and it enters the battlefield, and we can put 2 +1/+1 counters on each other creature that we control named Baloth Pack Hunter. So right now it's not going to do anything, but next turn, if we play the Pack Hunter, it will make 1 Pack Hunter bigger. But we also have the option, if we want to be slow, we can play another Caryatid and pass, basically. But I think that our goal is to just put down some bigger stuff. What you a lot of the time want to do is use all of your mana every turn. You don't want to leave mana on the board. So now they've played a 3/2 of their own, which is no joke, and can block our Baloth Pack Hunter, at least for now. But if we play this, then now we have a 5/5. So we can attack with this creature if we want, but I'm actually going to... We need 7 mana for this. And this guy now gives us 2 because we have a 5/5. So if we play this forest, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forests, 6, 7, and able to play this rampaging Brontodon dinosaur next turn. So we're just going to say next, and I'm not even going to attack. I'm just going to wait. I'm not stressed at all about this. Okay, they play a Hallowed Priest, but they're not gaining life, so these things aren't getting larger. Okay, so now what we're going to do is drop this. And we've got a 7/7. And I think it is safe to just attack with this. We could attack with this guy and block and trade, and that's probably actually okay. They will most likely... now, the nice thing is they can't chump block very easily because we have trample. So chump blocking is a tactic in Magic where you have this giant creature, and you just throw ahead like a 1/1 or a 1/2 in its way. It's called chump blocking because you have a chump, and it's going to just take all of the damage, and you sacrifice it basically, and it's no problem. You don't get hit. But in this case, you can't chump block because we have trample. So if you try to block with the 1/2, we'll kill it, and then the damage will carry over. So let's see how they decide to block. So they're going to actually block everything right here, okay? And we are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of our 5 damage and kill all 3 of these cards and trample through 1. And in this case, they will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage and kill us. So we trade 3 for 1, which is fine. So now their board is empty, and we have this enormous dinosaur out here. And, we get another forest. We want to play this because it makes our Brontodon bigger. This thing is not only a 7/7 trample, but whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+1 for each land we control. So this will be a 13/13 with trample coming at them. I'm going to attack with 13, 16 trample damage. We don't kill them yet. Even if we attacked with this, they could, block here and then take... Let's see. No, they couldn't. Yeah, we just attack with everything. Unless they have something special. So they don't die because they blocked 2 of the incoming damage with their cat. And they're at 1, but we'll take it. And we'll play our Caryatid and finish. Alright, so they're gaining a little bit of life. This would have been useful for them earlier, but at this point, we play a land. Let's go ahead and do this to pump up this Pack Hunter. And, just give them this to deal with. And it's over. So no problem. Easy as pie. They didn't really get their life gain off. It was kind of out of sync for them. All right, and now we're going to play Chandra and Red. And it says Red gains rewards for using instants and sorceries, direct damage. That is definitely a staple of Red. So let's see how it goes. Okay. A very similar hand, except we got these spiders instead. Alright, and she's playing her goblin deck, so we've piloted this. We know what we're up against. But luckily we've got some ramp here. Okay, cadets coming. Oh, okay, good. Shocked our face. And we talked about why that's a mistake. Should have shocked our mana producer. We do not block, we just take the damage. And we now can play this and just drop down our large 3/3. And can block most of what they send at us. Now, the Tin Street Cadets don't really care if they get blocked, but apparently they were a little bit concerned about it. Now, this Stony Strength is gives you +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and you untap it. Now, it's a nice creature if they want to use shock and exactly kill something, and we can play this and keep it alive. That's pretty powerful. But right now, what we're going to be doing is playing these Sentinel Spiders, because then this will give us 2 mana. Now, Chandra played the Spellgorger weird, and this thing says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So this is really good with instants and sorceries that can get out of control. So we have to keep our eye on that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attack with my Pack Hunter. Just my Pack Hunter. and see what happens. Okay, so in this case, I'm actually not going to play my Spider, and I'm going to play Stony Strength. This is the order that we want the damage to be dealt in. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll say done, and then we're going to play this. Now, if they have an instant, then that's unfortunate, but we will put this right here. Now, check this out. Not only do we kill all their stuff, but we can actually still cast our Spider even though we used our mana, because this guy's giving us 4 mana now, because that +1/+1 counter from Stony Strength is permanent, and we have a 4-power creature, and now we have another one. This is terrible for Chandra. Just absolutely devastating. We can do this and leave 1 mana behind, so we will. Just play it down there, and then we're going to go ahead and attack with everything. And Chandra's just going to take it, because trample. And this is pretty much it. This says at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. This is a fantastic card for this deck because it allows you to keep momentum up because you get some card draw. Now, we don't need to play it right now. All we need to do is just attack with everything that we've got. Let's see what happens. So, they are going to block, which is expected because they would die if they didn't. And now they're going to take 8, 9. Stony Strength doesn't finish this, so we'll just kind of let this happen. Put Chandra at 2. Then we'll play Colossal Mastery, which is an enchantment, just goes on the board and gives us this effect. And then we'll end the turn. I could have played Stony Strength on my Caryatid, untapped it, and then tapped it for 2 to some of my other Caryatid. But it's not necessary. Now, this is a big boy. This is a 4/4 flyer with haste. But remember, our Sentinel Spiders, they have reach, so they can block flying creatures. So we could trade one. But we also have this, so we can devastate if they try to attack. Which I don't think that they will, because she's at such low life. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so we get to draw an extra card from that. And, oh, we got some good stuff. Alright, so we can play the Brontodon, but instead, let's just go ahead and attack with everything. And out of spite, she's going to block right there, which is amusing. You got it. You've won. Take your victory. Okay. So now we're playing Jace and Blue. Good blockers and flying creatures, indeed. Blue can be troublesome for green for 2 reasons. Flyers can be hard for green to deal with, unless we get those spiders. We don't have a lot of flying. We do have some reach. We'll play a forest. Oh, we have a 1 cost. So we've got a Jungle Delver. The other reason that blue is hard is because blue can bounce cards back to your hand and slow you down, and if you're trying to ramp and you get slowed down, the opponent gets a chance to catch up, and your value plays can blow up in your face. But, you know, that's just how things go. You will always have strengths and weaknesses against certain combinations. This is a 1/1, but you can see we can pay 3 colorless and 1 green at any time as a sorcery. Well, I mean, at any time on our turn as a sorcery, to put a counter on the Delver. And this means that, like, we're not going to be doing that anytime soon, but it's called, like, you know, a mana dump. It's a place to put mana if you've got extra mana, and it makes this card actually good at the end of the game, because it doesn't tap him to do that. So you could just, like, put a bunch of counters on there if you have a lot of mana and you draw this card late. So it's an interesting card that's, like, it's good early because it's just a 1/1 for 1, but then it can actually scale up. So we will play the, well, let's just attack first. See if there's any shenanigans going on. Okay, and then we'll play the Caryatid. Sworn Guardian. Sure. Okay. 1/3. We'll play a forest. And We can't make this guy insane right now. But let's go ahead. We can't make this guy... We could Stony Strength this guy twice to get rid of the Sworn Guardian, and that's very tempting. But it... Yeah, I think actually I'll do that. That's fine. Because if I put a counter on him next turn, then he'll become powerful enough to boost up the Caryatid to 2 mana, and we can remove their board. So I'll just declare this as an attacker. Now, Jace is tapped out, so we can get away with this easily. 1 and 2. All right. Now, that's a lot of cards to use on one creature, but hey. Okay. So now, I highly doubt that they're going to block right here, but what we can do is just activate the ability, spend the mana, and now we have a 4/4, and we will attack with this. I don't think that... Yeah, she's just going to take... Or he's going to take the 4, that's fine. End the turn. We don't have quite enough for the Brontodon yet, we need 1 more mana. Okay, they're putting down another flyer, which is scary, and we'll pass. Gotta take 2 damage. Okay. Gonna activate the ability here. And this is what you can do. Like, we don't have the mana to cast this yet, but we do have a place to put mana. And then we'll go ahead and attack with this. We're just kind of racing Jace at this point. Like, they can hit us for 4, but we can hit them for 5, and then we will summon our other Caryatid, so next turn we can put down the Brontodon. That's large. That's problematic. Okay, good. Now, before I play the Brontodon, I'm going to attack. They have 8 damage coming across, which we really can't do anything about. I'm not going to pump up my Delver. And they'll just take it. And then we'll play this. And end the turn. Alright, so they... Jace is pushing it, but we're racing here, and I don't think that they will attack unless Jace wants to lose. Oh, okay. Wants to lose. Sure. Alright, took us down low, but there's some serious problems here. Now, this is an amazing card. So, Rabbit Bite is kind of Green's removal, one of them, and it allows you to fight. So, what you're basically doing is you say, okay, my creature is going to deal its power damage to another creature that we don't control, but they don't get to even retaliate. So this is like, we just use this on our Brontodon and blast their air elemental out of the way, and we don't even have to deal with the trample effect. So we'll just use this. So we'll target our Brontodon and target their air elemental, which is their untapped blocker. We kill it, does 7 damage to it, and then now we attack with everything like this, and we use Stony Strength right here, and goodbye. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So, we win. It was closer because the flyers we couldn't block, but in that case, we just kept racing to kill Jace before Jace could kill us, and we won. Alright, Vivian, let's take on Liliana. So black can present problems for green because they have a lot of removal. So if you spend a lot of energy and mana playing something as green and they just quickly remove it, it can feel bad. And Death Touch is an issue, but we're going to be fine. We'll play our Caryatid and just see what goes on. Here they come. Alright. So this Call Blade that they've played, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Kind of the inverse of the life gain in a fashion. So this is going to get bigger if our stuff dies, and they have a typhoid rat that has death touch. So that's bad. We don't want to see that. But right away, we're able to just play a Pack Hunter, and we should do that. And I will. We've got a removal spell of our own in Rabid Bite, which is tremendous. Alright, so they're going to attack, and they are going to try to attack us with this Typhoid Rat. Now remember, it has Death Touch, which means that any amount of damage a source with Death Touch deals to a creature is enough to destroy it. So we will not block because our Pack Hunter will die, and that would be, catastrophic. So we're going to play a Forest, and I'm going to start just killing their Call Blades right here. I'm going to target my own creature and one Call Blade like that. And then I can actually do this again and just clean up their Call Blades. And then I'm able to just attack with everything and do 4 damage. So I killed their blockers. They didn't get to pump up at all. Now they played this, which I wish now I had my removal for. So we're going to be racing. But at least this thing is going to get a bonus every turn that they damage us. But now we can play this, which does 2 things for us. It makes this a 5/5, and it makes this give 2 so that we are closer to the Brontodon. Actually, we could cast the Brontodon next turn. I'm going to attack with the 5/5. So this is a problem, but not if we kill them before it becomes more dangerous. That's a shame. Okay. So now I feel bad because I played all that stuff. But do this. Now, if I attack with my 5/5 and they double block right here, I would actually take that trade, so I am going to attack with this. Now, I can't attack with the 3/3 because they could just block with the Sengir Vampire and this dies, and I don't, this would get stronger. But in this case, we can make this happen. And that was a bad play. That was a miscalculation. I kind of thought they would double block. I forgot about that possibility. But to be honest, they're going to double attack and we'll win anyway because our trampling is just too much for them. Now this is a nice guy. This is actually pretty fun. Check this out. The Affectionate Indrik, when it comes into play, I can fight a target creature I don't control. So what this means is I can play this dude right now, and I can just kill the Sengir Vampire, or I could kill the Gorger. The Gorger is actually probably more dangerous at the moment. They will both die if I do this. Because when you fight, unlike the spell that I was casting, where you just do your damage, they get to do their damage back. Now, in this case, we're going to attack. Our Brontodon is going to get +5/+5, and it has Trample. So even though they have Death Touch and can block and kill it, they cannot survive the damage that's coming at them. And Death Touch doesn't go into effect until after the Trample damage is dealt. So even though, yes, they kill me with the Death Touch, it happens after the damage is dealt, so it doesn't save them. So a bit of a misplay on my part there, just assuming that they would block with the Sengir Vampire, but I forgot. No, they don't even have to. They have a Death Touch. But we ended up winning anyway. So we're going to go ahead and try to play this, see if we can get lucky. The green deck isn't that great for trying to win this matchup. And I'm going to be honest with you, you don't have to play these matches against other people to finish the color challenge, because really what they're doing for us is just getting us, like, you can look at the prizes, like some cosmetics or whatever, and it might not be that worth it. So let's look at our hand. We have a turn 1 play, turn 2 play, and yeah, this is fine. We don't have anything that's like super sensational, but if we draw up into a little bit more mana, you know, Colossal Mastery can save us. Black doesn't really have great ways to deal with enchantments. We've got one removal spell, and then this is kind of like a removal in a creature's body. It's a 2 for 1, which is why it's so expensive. Anytime a card does 2 things at once, it's usually more expensive unless it's an exceptionally good card. Oh, they're playing red. Okay, so they're using the Liliana Portrait, but they're playing red. We might have a person who is, you know, very new to the game, which with our account, that's what we're going to get. All right, they played the 10 Street Cadet. Fair enough. And I will play this. I am actually not going to attack. My thought process with not attacking is that I do have the ability to pump up the Jungle Delver. Okay, so they're using Storm Strike to give it first strike, and we'll just not block. All right, cool. So, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of activate the ability and make this a 2/2 and just give him some damage. I'm not going to play Colossal Mastery yet because it's not going to do anything for me. I'd rather have the opportunity to make the Jungle Delver stronger, and then we can potentially like Rabid Bite something that I don't like the look of. Okay, that's not great. All right, look at this. Now we can play the Rumbling Baloth, which is fantastic for us. I can't play Colossal Mastery, which is sad, but we just get a 4/4 out there. We can have the Molten Ravager. They could pump this up, but if they tap any mana, then we can have our Baloth just basically Rabid Bite. Okay, they're playing Goblin Gathering. Fair enough. All right, so I am going to play Colossal Mastery, or Majesty, rather, so that we'll get an extra card next turn. And then I will Rabid Bite, and I will target our Rumbling Baloth and hit their Molten Ravager. Let's just try to take this thing down. They could have a shock, but it's not really going to bother us that much. I'll attack with this. This is risky. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. It's going to cost me a card, I think. If they like block with a bunch of stuff. Okay, they chump blocked. Actually, then that's fine. I thought maybe they would like double block and then shock or something like that, and it would have been fine to clear out their board, but I hate to lose drawing the card with Colossal Majesty. But I want to keep the pressure on red right here. We have a much better board presence. Okay, so this is a new player. They don't really know what they're doing. They're using this spell, which is an instant, and they should be doing these maneuvers as a surprise so that I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to take this damage. I have no reason to block. If I block this, I just die. And if I block this, yes, we trade and I save 3 damage. But I don't want to lose my Jungle Delver. No, is that too risk? Is that too conservative? Yeah, it's too conservative. Let's just do this. I'm going to have an affectionate Indrik right now, so it's fine. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So we got the extra land. So now I can play this, and then I can just drop down this dude and fight the cadet. And this is pretty much game over. He has no board. He's playing like a fast goblin deck. And we have massive cards on the board. And we have... we're drawing 2 cards per turn because of this. This is fine. You have 3 goblins. That's cool. That's a lot of forest to draw, which is a shame. I'll just attack. Okay, they're going to chump block. That's totally fine. I'm going to save my Rabid Bite for something that's actually scary, not a 1/1 goblin token. Okay, Nest Robber. Nice. There we go. There we go. Play a forest. Now we've got this big boy. I'm just going to attack with these again. So they're going to chump block. Okay. So what you should be doing in their spot, if they have any instance, is trying their best to take down targets, but they've got behind too much and they just can't catch up. So we're just going to do this really simply. We will Rabid Bite. I'm going to target my dude, target their dude. This will kill their blocker. And then they can't block. They have 14 health and we have 19 damage. Now this is a decision you have to make. It's kind of like BMing, like it's not polite. But what you want to do here is probably play your Rampaging Brontodon. Even though we have lethal damage, you want to play something, you know, like this. And the reason you play that is just because lots of your quests require you to play spells. So you want to be able to, in the game that you're playing, do as many actions as you can to try to chip away at your daily quests. So we win. And what do we get? We're heroes. Okay, so you do get more than just cosmetics. You get 250 gold, you get 275 experience, which is fantastic. And you can see that, yeah, we have this quest right here, cast 20 red or green spells. So we'll get 500 gold if we do that. And that is, you know, that green spell that we cast, that counted toward that. So at this point on the color challenge, we got another 200 coins. And we got some wild cards and we got some carry audits. Actually, I think that the stuff that we just got right there was just from playing an online match, perhaps. And we can go back and we can look that we need to win against an opponent with blue and black. But what I like to do is go back to home and then see, like, kill 15 creatures. And I do have a quest for casting blue spells. So there is some incentive to do that. And, you know, if I want to earn the Vivian sleeve, I can, you know, win 3 starter deck duel games to get this, and you get 600 gems. 600 gems is a ton. So we definitely want to work toward this reward, and we'll kind of think about moving in that direction next. We have starter deck duels. You can click on this, and, you know, we can try to win with one of these starter decks against other people, and the nice thing is, like, your collection doesn't matter because you're all using decks from this set. And then if we get one win, we can get a card. We can get a card. And then we get the cosmetic and we get all the gems and stuff, which is awesome. All right, everyone. I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. And I hope you're having a good time playing Magic the Gathering. If you have any questions, please post those in the comments below. Take care.